talk therapy didn't work for me. If you have been to talk therapy for years and feel like there has not been a lot of movement in your inner healing journey, that is still feel triggered, and you're left with questions like why is not working for me, then this video is for you. So the thing is, talk therapy helps you intellectualize your childhood trauma. It helps you connect your childhood trauma that happened in the past to where you are in the present. But for some of us, we are already intellectuals. I was very good at intellectualizing. I knew everything. So the first day when I sit in front of a therapist, I will tell them everything that happened to me. Yes, my mother was violent and she was absent. I didn't feel loved by her. Yes, my father loved me, but based on the condition that I performed well in my exams, both of them were violent. Hence, I am violent today in my relationship and all the issues. So I would tell the therapist my issue along with why this happened, and then they would be baffled. The first thing they would say is that, wow, you are aware. It's a good thing that you are aware of your problems. And I would be sitting on the other side and saying, but what should I do next? Because there are no solutions. Being aware of your problems does not mean that it will solve your problem immediately. Even after therapy, I was still the same in my inner world, right? So when my husband would do something that triggered me, I would still react with violence. I would still throw things. I would still repeat those same things that I would do previously. So I felt stuck. At one point, I felt like therapy was not working. So then I embarked on other things in my journey. And let's get started with what actually helped me even more than therapy. Hi, I'm Parveen. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about healing from childhood trauma, living authentically, and I have been making videos to help you in your journey. In a previous video, I have talked about my entire life journey, which you will find at the end of the video. You can go through it to understand where I come from. So, the first thing that I want to talk about, which helped me immensely, was intergenerational trauma informed coaching. So what I had gone through as a child, the trauma that I had gone through was not just mine. It was coming from generations in my family. I became aware of intergenerational trauma from the work of scholars like Gabor Mate, who talk extensively about intergenerational trauma. And I found a coach who excelled in intergenerational trauma work. So the first thing that she did with me was create a traumagram. A traumagram is basically mapping out all the things that have happened to you in your family, back to your grandparents, back to your granduncles. Every little detail that you have, they map it out. And from that map, you can find a lot of coincidences. For example, my mother was absent emotionally to me as a child. From childhood, I knew that it had something to do with the fact that her mother itself was absent for her. So she thought that she would do the best for her child and she never left us. Though her marriage was troubled, she stuck with my father because she wanted to do better than her mother. But you cannot give what you have not received as a child. She didn't receive love from her parents, hence, she didn't know how to give love to a child. She was there, a mother physically, but emotionally, she could not give me that love. Today, if I'm able to give that love to my children and my husband, it's because my father was emotionally present for me. So it was a generational trauma that was being passed, and it made me aware that I have to heal right from my roots. So intergenerational trauma informed coaching helped me a lot. There were regression sessions where I went back to certain incidents where I had been hurt, and I would reach out to my inner child. That time inner Parveen would be there, and I also have a symbol of my inner child right here. So when I was a child, I had boycott hair. I was not allowed to keep hair like this by my father because he felt that if I have long hair, it will distract me from my studies. And so this is a very nice totem that I carry with me of who my inner child would be like. And I always talk to my inner child now. So whenever I feel triggered, instead of reacting, I would go back to my inner child. I'll say, Parveen, you are being triggered now. You are safe, you are safe, you are safe. And I'll just tell that to my inner child and she will feel safe. I will give her affirmations of love that she didn't have as a child. For example, if I do something wrong, if I'm violent again, or if I do something that makes me feel like, oh, I'm still back to where I was, I will tell my inner child that you are doing so good, you deserve to be loved, no matter what you have done, I have forgiven you, you are so good, you are working on it, you're learning every day, you're learning and you're working so hard. So such kinds of affirmation helped me really. So intergenerational trauma work is really, really powerful, and it is not just intellectualizing your trauma of where it came from, but going down to the roots, understanding your parents from the lens that they were children themselves once and they were hurt by their parents, and maybe their parents were then hurt by society in return. We are all accumulations of circumstances that were beyond us, and that lens helps you move from victimizing yourself to somewhat, understanding your parents, maybe forgiving them someday when you have healed yourself enough, and then empowering yourself that I am going to break this trauma going forward. I will not pass this on to my children. The second thing that worked really well for my healing journey is somatic healing. Somatic means relating to the body. In talk therapy, we keep talking, the therapist keeps talking to us about things mentally. They never go back to our body, but trauma is stored in the body. It is scientifically proven. There has been so much research on it, and I would suggest you to read this book that I have here, The Body Keeps the Score. So this is an excellent book to get started with if you are in your healing journey. This book is by Bessel van der Kolk, and he was the father of psychiatric medicines. He actually developed a lot of psychiatric medicines that were prescribed to mental patients. But during his life's work, he realized that psychiatric medicines have become an industry. They do not heal the roots of why a person behaves in a certain way. So he wrote this book and he developed methods of how to heal a person from their body, because the body keeps the score. So I started doing somatic practices like breath work, meditation, tapping is so powerful. I will make another video on tapping, yoga, just shaking your body. I went for a Vipassana course and I realized that Vipassana also talks about body based healing. The meditation is all about noticing your body sensations. You sit still and with your mind's eye, you feel the sensations all over your body. And after 10 days of sitting silent and meditating, you gain a power over your body. So today, when I get triggered, instead of just reacting, I can actually feel heat rising up my chest, a sensation like a snake is coiling in my chest, and I can sit with it. I can sit with that sensation instead of going to my mind's lobes of, oh, this person did this person did this, hence this, going into catastrophic thinking. I can sit with my body, and that stage I have come to after a long time, after 4 years of being with my body, doing somatic practices. I want to tell you that healing is not a linear journey. It is not going from 1 to 2 and 2 to 10. You go 5 steps forward and sometimes you go 3 steps back. But you know that you are on this path, and every day your brains are getting rewired, your nervous system is getting rewired, and you are coming back to who you are, who you were before things happened to you. The third thing that really helped me in my healing is Mother Nature. So I got introduced to nature when I got married. My husband was into bird watching, and we started going on trips where I started noticing the little things in nature, like spiders, flowers, lizards. There are so many beings around us and we are unaware of them. When I was a child and I was always cooped up in my city home with my parents and violence and abuse, the only moments when I felt connected to life was when I was in nature in my village. So there was a pond, I would swim there. I would go with my cousins to the rice fields, collect rice husks. We had cows, and it was the most memorable time of my life. I had an uncle who was into homeopathy and natural medicine, and he would show me edible herbs and how to make medicines out of that. And though I lost my uncle, till today that connection was there. And when as an adult my husband showed me things in nature, I felt reconnected to that little Parveen again, who was touched by nature. Nature can heal us so much. In today's times we spend so much time with our phones and tablets, and we are so disconnected from nature. We feel humans are the only other superior beings there. Once you go out into nature and just submit yourself to the elements, walking on a beach, going in a forest, looking at the little beings who surround you, the mighty stars, these things make you feel so small. And when you become small, you become one with the universe. There is a term which people who take psychedelics use, and it's called ego death. Ego death is the beginning of healing. We can reach ego death by many ways: through meditation, through being in nature, through nature medicines like ayahuasca. So, just submitting yourself to nature and making it a point to reconnect yourself with nature is the beginning of your healing journey. If you don't have access to the big things like beach and forest, the simplest thing that you can do is going out every morning, be in the sun, walking around the park, not putting earphones in your ears and listening to a podcast and running. No, be without any devices. Just look, just observe, look at the stars, look at the sky, look at the trees, look at all the little creatures around you, and you will feel so less lonely. You will feel like you are a part of this vast tapestry of nature which is filled with life. And in a universe that has so much life, why would you not be healed when you allow yourself to connect with everything? So, these are the three things that I wanted to talk to you about quickly. The first is intergenerational trauma coaching, which is a must if you are suspicious that there has been trauma running in your family, that it's not the first time that you have been part of it, your mother, your father also have been part of it. The second is somatic healing. This is to release the stored trauma in your body and empower our body, because mind and body are connected. They are not two different parts, they are the same. And the third is reconnecting with nature. If you have stuck so far, thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel so that we can be on this journey together. I can keep sharing about what has worked, what has not. And please watch this origin video of mine where I tell about my childhood trauma and how did I become aware of it, what did I do to reach this point when I feel more authentic about my life. I want to leave you with only one thing, that there is no end point to healing. You cannot say that I'm healed completely today. Healing is a journey, and every day you come back to yourself a little more. You feel a little more alive in your body, alive in life, and that is worth all the difficult parts that we have to encounter in healing. Thank you so much. I wish abundance, healing, and peace to you.